second of our live streams today, where we are going to be completing the build on the castle entrance fascia. Just go over briefly what that is. So of course my castle is a doll's house, but because of the depth of the shelf I can't make the front wide enough to join, otherwise it'll overhang the shelf when it's open. So we need 24 studs in the middle just to hold the thing all together. So these are going to comprise a series of levels that when the castle is displayed open, it can be removed and will contain various scenes from the Wizarding World. We've done the ground floor, which is the Great Forest, and that is going to be a multi-use module showing different scenes throughout the various years of Hogwarts, and each of the modules or each of these facade piece is going to have a scene inside that's useful through each of the years. Earlier on this afternoon we completed the second stream, and that included the arch for the front of the main entrance and the tops of the towers. Now those towers ended in little balconies, and this level is going to contain the balcony doors. So we're going to start off with our base plate, again 3 8x8s, because that's what I had available. I had a big pab haul recently which included a bunch of these tan 8x8s. So we're going to start by connecting those together with a couple of these windows. This is just going to hold our bases together and provide the outside of our castle. Now, the level that this castle is built on, that we are attempting to match up with, features the same kind of windows as the hospital wing. So we are going to be matching the architecture on this level and the decor to match those windows. So what we're building up here is just the centre. I'm going to put a couple of these shields on. Now I would very much like to get these shields in the 4 founders colours, and I believe they make a couple of them in the right colours. Yeah, let's see, can we get a bit of focus on that? Yeah, so just a couple of plates just to bring it up to level. But we don't yet have shields in each of the Hogwarts founders colours. So for now we'll content ourselves with gold ones. These could equally well be, oh, that's what happens when you only have one stud connecting, equally well be in light grey or even tan, but I think the gold just lets you know that that's something to draw the eye. So the main thing we need to do here is replicate the architecture we've got on our lower levels. But first we need to make sure that our building is going to be able to attach into the rest of our Hogwarts. So we're going to do that as we do on each level using the modular standard connection, which is these Technic pins. So we're going to get a few bricks on there just to hold that side in. Likewise on the other side. Just put a few on there. So obviously this is going to encroach a little bit on the depth of the build area on the other side, because these are just going to be facade walls, just literally 1 brick deep, and inside we're going to be displaying a scene from the Wizarding World. Now I don't yet know what that scene is going to be, haven't decided. The next floor up, the top floor, I've already started work on a few of the facades, or sorry, a few of the interiors. And in a later build stream this afternoon, we're actually going to look at one of those that I've already managed to complete. So let's start building our balcony doors. So these are fairly simple. They're not functioning doors. They are just to give the impression of a door onto the balcony, because obviously this is not going to have an active interior. Just going to use a snot brick with a gold stud just to be a little door handle to give the impression of a double door that opens out onto the balcony. Now, as I said, we're matching some architecture. So we've got the first two bits of that because we are trying to match the hospital wing windows. So obviously they would stop. I think these bottom two levels would be wall, and then you'd start getting a, I think it's a 6-pane window in there. But instead of that, we're going to be having these balcony doors. Now, because these palisades don't come in 1 by 1, I'm having to use a 2 by 1 and just hide it behind our detail brick just there. I've got these palisades in a variety, well, two colours, reddish brown and dark brown, just to provide a bit of variation. So let's start popping in our architectural pieces now. So we're going to use these arches that match the windows on the hospital wing. And these are going to sit just outside of our doors. And again, you can see I've got a randomly coloured brick because that's not going to be visible once we've got our front on there like that. So that's how our arch is going to be. So that's going to match the hospital wing. Just to fill up the inside, just going to put a pair of windows. So that gives us the same style as the hospital wing. Build up the walls a bit more, just so we can start adding in some extra detail and infrastructure. So the window is going to be topped off just with a couple of plates there. And again, we're matching to our hospital wing, or my hospital wing. I may have changed, I think I definitely changed the colours on some of these just because of what I had. Maybe even have changed the design slightly. But obviously if you want to match to your hospital wing windows, you can use the original colours. If you get one of these little arrangements using these rounded end bricks, one of those horns and just a single stud, pop that on there, and the opposite build on the other side. And now you can see our doors that match the style of our hospital wing windows. So these will go down, that will be in line with the windows we've already got. So you would take up 1, 2 extra windows just there where the doors are, and that bottom layer would be a wall on the original. So we're going to replicate that on the other side. So I'll keep gas in. Obviously, talk amongst yourselves. So now this first level of bricks, you can see, well you can't because it's not in shot, but you can see they are just regular bricks because they're actually going to be hidden behind the balconies that are attached to the level below that we just built in our previous live stream. If you'd like to see those, you can go and check that out. So we've, again, hiding our palisade brick behind our architecture detail. Same again on this side. Pop that in there. Ooh. Along with our next door. Now, so you can see here I've got a snot brick instead of a regular brick. There's a very good chance I put that in originally because I'd run out of regulars. But when my castle is closed, you may have seen the short I did around Halloween of the spooky Hogwarts exterior with all the ghosts flying around. I originally did that just for Halloween, but I really liked it with the ghosts flying around the castle. So scattered across the facade and the front of my exterior of my modules are lots of these little snot bricks, just so I can have ghosts or dementors posed around the castle, flying about the place, making it look a bit more interesting. Let's finish this door. Okay, start adding in architecture. Again, random coloured 1x1s, because I am for some reason lacking 1x1s. I seem to buy them constantly and never have enough. Always underestimate what I'll need. There's our arches with our little architectural pieces already in place. Let's turn this around and pop our windows in. Okay. And again, pop another couple up there. Da, 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 da. Oh, Rennie, hello. Let's pop that on there. Yeah, it looks intricate, but really, you know, it's just just following instructions from another kit, really. Let's pop these up here. We're going to start filling in the wall now. From here on in, it's a fairly simple build. Pop these on here. So as in our previous, we've got a couple of these little, there we go, architectural bricks. This time with a grey figure on, just for a bit of contrast. And you guessed it, because I didn't have any more gold figures, or they were being used elsewhere, usually as trophies in the trophy room and things like that. Now our side walls don't go up the full height. We just really need them in just for a little bit of bracing, so it doesn't flex and wobble too much. But we've got that second pinhole there at the 6th course of bricks to match the rest of the modules, so that when we slide this into position in the castle, I've got the axle pins, and this will just slide over the axle pins and be held in place on the side of the build. Now, I don't do that on both sides, so I've really only put one in here just in case future needs mean that I need to be able to pin it in, but it's really just there just to hold everything together. Right, let's start building our top layer. So, pop these in. Again, I'm going to put a bit more interest on the front of our castle, so we're going to use a snot brick in the middle there, and onto that I'm going to place, I finally finished building, there we go, one of our Hogwarts stone shields that came in a set. What set was that in? No, it's gone. Completely forgotten. I think the tan one recently that was the other way up came in Dumbledore's office, but I can't remember where the stone one came in. Probably first flying lesson. Yeah, I think first flying lesson. But anyway, we've got that there. So we've now got the school coat of arms, and these two little grey guys either side act as supporters to the coat of arms, just to make it a bit more impressive and interesting to look at. So the top of this, as you can see, is mondo wobbly. So we're just going to use a long collection of plates just to increase the number of contact points we have and really make sure that's strongly integrated, and it also allows us to account for these plate layers at the top here. Now, all across the top here, I normally wouldn't use this many plates, but when I stack these facades, the only point of contact they have is this one layer of bricks here. Now, that may seem like it's going to be really weak, but it's actually quite a strong connection. Even though we've got stuff or a plate layer that extends out here, it's super light. There's no real weight on it at the moment. And even when there is, and we've got some of our displays, because the floor above I've actually started adding the interiors to, with the pinholes through and connected to the side of the castle, these all stay up nice and straight. So that is our second facade. Let's bring in the level below, which we did earlier. And as you can see, we've just got some regular studded bricks below the balconies, and that's going to sit on the top there. So now we have our little balconies on the top. So this went through a few design iterations. Initially I had turret tops on there, and then I moved to this balcony arrangement because I wanted to add these alcoves, and instead of the doors I actually had little half round displays, like if you've seen the latest the Great Hall, no, the Long Gallery in the Bits and Pieces video with all the space fillers. I had those little arrangements in there instead of the doors, and there was a couple of statues up the top there, which worked quite nicely and fit quite well. It was pretty good arrangement. I quite liked it. But then, you know, I thought, well, these look like balconies, maybe they should have doors. So I tried that and I stuck with it, because as we've got, you know, a window arrangement, these doors at the end of each bank of windows that are coming in from each side. So we've got window, window and door, and on the other side window, window, door. There we go. And they all fit nicely on there. So if you look at the short on the channel with the spooky Hogwarts, you can actually see the entire facade fitted into the front of the castle, and you can see how all the architectural details match, and where the original colours, I didn't have the right ones, I matched them all on there. Oh, hi Kevin, nice to see you on the stream. Yeah, I like these, the little microfilm. I didn't know they did them in grey. Obviously I'd seen them in gold loads of times, seen little red ones and other ones in the Avengers stuff that my son's had in various sets of his. But when I saw these dark grey ones, I thought, oh yes, excellent. I don't even remember where I got those. I may have in fact stole them from one of my son's sets, because that's the way I roll. So there we go. Let's bring in the front gate. And completely failed to get any of this in shot. But so we now have 4 floors. Let's go into wobbly cam. 4 floors of our front done. You can see they stand up nicely. There's the forest tucked away in its hidden position. So obviously that stops before it reaches the wall, so it's not going to interfere with any of the internal modules, and all of these branches can be brought out and displayed in a much more open way when I'm using it in its display mode. Then each of these floors will have some different displays on the inside. They're going to be modular, you can swap them in and out. This one I talked myself into during the last stream. Just had the idea and I thought, yes, that's great. I'm going to have probably a Hagrid's hut in one half that's actually going to be hinged and open, so it can open across the entire width of the piece and be an interior scene for Hagrid's hut. And then of course you can close that down, maybe put Buttbeak in the pumpkin patch outside when we're doing a year 3 display. And then this next one that I've just built, I have been toying with the idea, although I've now largely abandoned it because I think I'm going to use a Moments book to display. I was looking at possibly putting in, now this is just some bits and pieces that I tore out at the last minute, but you get the idea, rows and rows like this, and it was going to be the Department of Mysteries with the Hall of Prophecies, but they didn't really give me the shelf look that I was wanting. And I think when I decide how to engineer it to go inside a book, I'll get much more of the depth that I'm looking for that kind of build. So That's going to be in a series of ministry books that I'm currently working on. And then going forward, I'll eventually show those on the channel. So there we go. That's that build now complete. I will be back live a little later on in the afternoon for me as we head into the evening. And I'm going to build the final facade that goes on top of this and completes the top of our facade tower on the outside, and actually show you the building of one of our interiors. But I'm not going to tease that just yet. If you'd like to join in a little later this afternoon, keep your eye out for the notification. So there we go. Thanks for joining us on the stream this afternoon. Thanks for your comments. If you enjoyed the video, please leave us a like and please subscribe to Bricking It. Bye bye.